So here are the basic tools that we're gonna need for the very first project that we're gonna do. But I wanted to focus a little bit more first on the pliers because I think that's one of the most important things. So you're gonna need basically 3 pairs of pliers. The first pair, and the most important one, I think, are the flat pliers. And the flat pliers, and these are pliers that are specifically for jewelry making, and they're smooth on the inside and completely flat. So that's the first pair. The second pair is called chain nose, where they're rounded on the outside and flat on the inside, but they're pointy. And then the third pair are called did I say that wrong? Oh, round nose. Round nose pliers, which are completely round and pointy. So those are the 3 basic pliers. You can get these at different jewelry supply places online or locally for probably about $6 a pair. I wouldn't pay a lot more than $6. And then later on, when you get more invested in this, you can invest in some more expensive pliers. But then I wanted to alert you to these. These are called lineman pliers, and you can get them at Harbor Freight, and they're like $3.99. So that's a really good pair of really heavy duty pliers that you'll need for this first project. And then you're going to need some wire cutters, and these are just called side cutters. And you can also get these at Harbor Freight. They come larger as well, and they work perfectly well. You don't need them to be this small. So those are the three pliers, the lineman's pliers, and then the cutters that you're going to need. So then the other thing you're going to need are some files. So here's 2 files. I think you can do really well with 2 files at first. The first file is a flat file, and it's probably a 0 cut. These are also jewelry tools, and you should always have a handle on it too. And later on I can show you how to put the handle on your file, but you want a handle because as you're filing, you're going to use the whole end of the file, the whole end of the plier, the whole length of the file if you have a handle. And then this is the other file that you're going to need, which is a half round, so it's flat on one side and rounded on the other, and it's also probably a 0 cut. So these 2 are important files to have. You're going to need some sort of measuring device. I like these really small 6-inch rulers that are really inexpensive. You probably get them for like nearly $1 each. This one has both inches and millimeters, which I will be referring to both inches and millimeters, so it's good to have a ruler that has both of them. And then you'll need this pointy tool that's called a scribe, and they come in a bunch of different types of configurations. This one is probably one of the most inexpensive that you can buy. Again, you could probably get it for about $1, and it's for scratching or marking your metal. Going back to the files, these are a really inexpensive needle file set, and they have all the different shapes. There's triangular, there's flat, there's round, there's half round, and you'll be using this for small things. I actually don't use these nearly as much as I do these 2 files, but they're handy to have, and they're really inexpensive. I think you can get a set for maybe $6 or $7. Then there's the jeweler saw, another really important tool that you'll be using. This one is from Germany, and I actually don't think that this is where you should skimp too much on the price of tools. This is a very common tool. I think you can buy this for, I don't know, maybe $12. It's not a lot of money, but you want to buy one with a throat that's about 4 inches. They come in all different throat sizes. They come in 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch throats that are larger, and I'll talk a little bit more about the use of the different throat sizes later. But this 4-inch throat size is probably your most versatile. So don't skimp on this. Get a good one with these good screws here. It's really important. If you get a cheapy one, you're going to be so frustrated, and it's going to be a really big waste of money. So that's your jeweler saw frame, and then you'll have to invest in some saw blades, and these are packs of 12, and here I'll quickly well, I'll undo it. I can undo it later. But these are packs of 12, and they're a little bit spendy. I think one pack is going to be maybe about $4, something like that. But they come in all different sizes, and again, I'll explain the different uses of different sizes of saw blades. Then you're going to need some drill bits, and this little baggie has some drill bits that I use really commonly, and the sizes that are most common are 67, 60, 55, and 52. 67 being the smallest and 52 being the largest of this group. And these each correspond to a wire size. So like, for example, this is 18 gauge, this is 16 gauge, and so forth. And that's really important to have a drill bit size that's exactly the size of wire size that we'll be using. Or you can buy this drill index, and this drill index is a 0 through 60 set, or actually a 1 through 60 set. And you can see all of them here, which is so amazing. You're gonna love this set. I think you can buy a whole set of these for maybe about $70. And then you'll have all the sizes. So then you will never need another one. And then if you need to replace any of these, you can buy them singly. So those are the drill bits, and I highly recommend buying this set maybe later on. But in the meantime, you will need some separate ones that I'm not sure if you can get it at your local really good hardware store or if you can order them online. But they should be maybe $1.25 or $1.50 each. And then a little hammer. This is a ball peen hammer. They come in all different sizes, but you will need a hammer for hammering some small things. And then the other very important thing about what we're doing is the bench pin. And this is a bench pin that clamps to any surface. So like if you are just working at your kitchen table, you can just clamp this to that, and then you can use this. And I can talk later about cutting the configuration of the bench pin out later, because normally it comes where this is all blank. So this is a great bench pin. You can get these online as well. I can't remember exactly how much they cost, but I like these the best because they clamp anywhere, and then it has this really great surface plate that you can hammer on, because we'll be hammering some metal on this plate. So then the other things you'll need are some sandpaper, and we probably won't be using this right away, but it's good to just know that you're going to need this black wet dry sandpaper. And what I have here is 180, 220, 320, 400, 400, and 600, and then you can even get up to 1200. But we probably won't be using this right away, but you will definitely need these, and you can purchase this at any hardware store. And then the last few items have to do with soldering. So we will be doing some soldering, probably not the first video, but maybe the second. But you'll need these tweezers called cross locks, and they close together by themselves, so they hold on to material by themselves. And then these are really super fine tweezers that you'll be using for picking up solder chips. And then here I have a little baggie of different types of wire and sheet silver solder, and we can talk about that later. And then here's a soldering brick, a striker, and then later we'll be talking a little bit more about the torches and the simple alternative to torches. And then the very last thing is, if you're really old like I am, you're gonna need some aid. So I can use both my regular reader glasses, but it's really, really helpful to have these optivisors to get really close and see precisely what you're working on. And I recommend that if you wear reading glasses, because if you can't see what you're doing, you can't make anything with any quality.